back to Simply BSI, or Simply Budget, Save, and Invest. Back again with a portfolio update for week ending February 13th, this past Friday. Again, as always, going to go over some of the positions I closed out this week, as well as positions I opened. Kind of changing my strategy a bit just based off of how the market's been doing so far this year. I am down a ton in this account in individual positions, holding stocks like Amazon, Robinhood, ETFs like IBIT, ETH, and also have some shares of Sound and Netflix I'll go over. But to start off, as you can see from the title, I did make roughly around $550 this week. To be exact, $577.72, of which I'll go over each of the options that expired to give me to that value, those premiums. But let's just start with the Robinhood account. As always, looks like we're at currently the total account value stands at $56,555.32. Year to date, we can see we are down 13.3%, almost $9,000 year to date. This is a margin account, so I do have a buying power for the 1,000, but again, none of that's my cash. It is really just margin. But so we can see, again, we are down quite a bit in these positions. I'll go into some of them individually. But we can see currently I have a NVIDIA 167.50 put expiring 2/18. That's Wednesday next week. I believe I sold that for about $30, maybe a little more, $35. Netflix $86 call. I got assigned on a Netflix $86 put last week, so I'm just going to be selling $86 covered calls for the foreseeable future. Again, so long as you're selling covered calls at a strike above your cost basis for the shares, you virtually cannot lose money. Again, it has to be a stock you're willing to hold long term. Netflix, I'm willing to hold long term, and right now it's trading around $75. So I'm not getting much on the premiums for those $86 options, but again, might as well collect that 10 or whatever bucks. I think I got actually $10 for that. Amazon, we could see have a covered call. A leap in Amazon. So I do hold 100 shares of Amazon. I haven't really been able to sell covered calls for much premium because of my cost basis is around $238. So instead, I bought a leap on that. A leap because, again, I'm going to hold Amazon. It's a long-term hold for me. So I thought I might as well buy a leap until I wait for the shares, or rather for Amazon to come back around a $230, $240 cost base or price, and that's when I'll start selling covered calls again on my position and probably close that leap at that time. So it's a $210 call expiring in January next year. I'm honestly not really bullish on the market, but Amazon can close the year hopefully around the price it started the year at, around $230. So I'm banking on that. So hopefully can make some money there. Also bought a Sound leap at $10. I hold Sound shares as well with the cost basis of around $10 now. I got assigned on the shares this past Friday, so I own 200 shares. I'll scroll down to that position. 200 shares with the cost basis of around like $10. And same thing with Hood. So Hood, my cost basis there is like $130. So I'm down almost 50% in that position. But again, same premise as Amazon. Just thought I might as well buy a leap while I wait for the shares to recover in price. Again, there's no guarantee in that, but it's just likely given that both of those stocks are oversold right now. So I'm hoping there's going to be some recovery, and I'll take advantage of that recovery while I wait for the shares to return to roughly my cost basis. So you can see holding 100 shares of Amazon, 100 shares of Robinhood, 200 shares of IBIT, that's a Bitcoin ETF, 200 shares of ETH, that's the Ethereum ETF, Sound, and Netflix. Really, I want to consolidate my portfolio. I want to hold Amazon, I want to hold ETH, I want to get rid of all the other positions and open up a position in Google eventually. That's my long-term goal. But again, in all these positions, because of how the market's been doing so far this year, I am down at least 10%. So let me see if I can get that. We can just go into one of them here, but again, so a lot of the foreseeable future, I'm not going to generate much option income because, again, I only sell covered calls at a strike price above my cost basis. That just ensures I don't lose money. But again, when you do that and you're far out of the money, you're not going to receive much on the premium. So for the foreseeable future, I know I can expect much less on weekly premium income because of how far out of the money I'm going to have to sell covered calls. So again, for in Amazon, for example, we could see I'm down 16% with an average cost basis of $238. So we're going to wait for a bit to start selling covered calls on that again because I like selling weeklies. But yeah, that's where we stand right now. The Robinhood account and the traditional account, we are between my Roth and traditional IRA. Let's just go into the traditional. We're sitting at $28,343. Again, we're down a lot in this account as well. You can see here around 27%. And again, it's the same positions. Netflix, Robinhood have 200 shares. We can see Ethereum and BMNR. Ethereum is a long-term hold for me as well. I really believe in tokenization. So the thing is with Robinhood, it looks like it's just, for me at least, too correlated with the price of cryptocurrency, and it just makes me feel like I'm over leveraged in crypto. So I want to get rid of Robinhood. I want to get rid of IBIT and just hold on to, again, as I mentioned, Amazon, ETH, and then eventually open a position in Google. And I feel a lot more confident in just riding out those three and selling covered calls and cash secured puts on those three stocks. But again, it looks like we have a covered call on Netflix. Again, same deal as my brokerage account, individual brokerage account. I got assigned on some Netflix shares at around an it was an $86 put I got assigned on, but my cost basis is $83.45 because it took the premium I received from that put and applied it to the share. So it lowered my cost basis a bit. Same thing with Robinhood. I got assigned on a $120 put and a $115 put, and it brought my cost basis down to $115.35. So I'm selling a covered call at $115 because the cost basis on 100 shares of that, or one of the lots, is $112. So technically I'm still selling at a strike higher than my cost basis, but for that individual tax lot. And then we can see I have ETH. Again, ETH I believe in. So I'm okay with the volatility in ETH. I'm willing to hold it long term anyways. So I'm selling a couple cash secured puts at $15. And that's just because I currently have a cost basis of around $22. Again, being an ETF, I'm willing to hold long term anyways. I had high conviction when it was trading at $22, so my conviction is even higher now at $15. So it has a lot of room to grow. And BMNR is also an Ethereum play, a lot more volatile, but again, kind of just doubling down there with the tokenization Ethereum play. But I want to get rid of that position as well too. We could see I have a cost basis of around $34, so I'm going to sit on those shares until we get back up to around that cost basis. Which again, I am hopeful and optimistic that it'll happen by year end, which is okay with my timeline there. And let's just go into my options, or what options accounted for the $570 I made this week in option income premium. So the individual account, we had a few options expired last Friday. Again, I got assigned on a Netflix cash secured put, so that I received $234 for. The rest of these, I got assigned on the Sound put as well, and the rest of these expired, other two rather. So the SLV received $102 for that expired worthless, and the Robinhood cash secured put at $70. I received $30 for that expired worthless. So in this account, my individual brokerage account, I received roughly $270 and $370 in option income premium. The traditional account, we just had two positions, one of which being Netflix and another being Hood, both covered calls, both of which expired worthless. Received about $100 total. That's going to be a Robinhood $115 covered call that expired worthless, and a Netflix $86 covered call that expired worthless. So again, received the option income premium for that as well. And I just want to explain too, for the cash secured puts or the covered calls that necessarily don't expire worthless, that I do get assigned on, I still count that as option income premium just because I know I'm not going to ever sell those shares at a price less than what I got assigned at. So long as you don't sell the shares less than the price you got assigned at, you can count on that option income premium as actual gain, realized gain. So again, if you get assigned at $86, for example, at Netflix, so long as I don't sell my shares lower than $86, I can count that option income premium as a gain in my portfolio. So again, once Netflix goes back up to $86, my account value will be up back to the my peak of my account value plus whatever I receive for option income throughout that period of time I was waiting for it. So sorry if I sped through this, but wanted to do a quick video just giving an update. Again, moving forward, I don't expect to make much just because I'm down quite a bit in a lot of my positions, and the option income premium is not going to be great on these covered calls because, again, I'm only going to sell at strikes higher than my cost basis. But I am going to start using margin a bit more. Of course, I'll be very conservative and I think I'll only sell cash secured puts against obviously stocks I want to hold long term, but also probably just like 90% profitability, like a 10 delta, and just to receive like a few bucks here and there. But thank you guys for tuning in. Again, not financial advice. Like, subscribe, all the things, and I'll see you guys next week.